Hi, this is Muhammad Imran. How are you? In my previous video, I discussed in detail 4 characteristics of modal auxiliary verbs which distinguish modals from main verbs. And these characteristics are contraction, inversion, repetition and take, and invariant. So it means that modal verbs can be contracted, or we can use short form of modal auxiliary verb. The second feature, that is inversion. We can change the subject and auxiliary position. So this is called inversion, right? The third characteristic of modal is repetition and take. So we can use modal in take question and we can use in repetition to have a primary stress on modal verb. And the fourth characteristic, the last one, is that modals are invariant. We do not change the form of modal auxiliary verb. By invariant we mean we cannot add s or es with third person singular pronoun, or we cannot add ed to make the past form of modal auxiliary verb. Even there are some exceptions. For example, we do not have the contracted form of may not or might not. Similarly, we have also the past form of the modal verb can, that is could. But that is not like, okay, that one, that what we talk about, that we add ed with the present form to make the past form. So these are the 4 characteristics of a modal auxiliary verb, and on the basis of these 4 features we can recognize that this is a modal auxiliary verb. In this video, we will talk in detail about types of modal auxiliary verbs, and we will be discussing the types of modal auxiliary verb according to the form of modal and according to the meaning. So let's discuss and talk first in detail about the form of modals. Modal verbs can be classified into 3 categories. The first category is pure modal. The second category is marginal modals. And the third category is semi-modal. So we are talking about modals according to form. So according to form, we can categorize modals into pure modal, marginal modal, and semi-modal. Now, pure modals are those modals which fulfill all the 4 characteristics of a modal auxiliary verb. So we have 8 pure modals in English. For example, we have will, would, can, could, may, might, must, should. Even that some linguists and grammarians include ought to also in pure modal. So if you include ought to in pure modal, then we have 9 pure modals. And if you exclude, then we have 8 pure modals in English. So we call them pure modals because they fulfill all the characteristics of modal auxiliary verb. For example, there will be contraction, there will be inversion, and there will be repetition and take, and they will be invariant in form. For example, if I say that you should take a walk, or if I say that you must study hard, or if I say that she may go now, you can see that with different subject pronoun, I'm using should, I'm using may, and I'm using must. So must, should, and may, they are modal auxiliary verb. So they can be contracted. For example, I can say that you shouldn't, or I can say you mustn't, or I wouldn't, I couldn't, or I won't. So it means that we can use the contracted form of modal auxiliary verbs, or modals can be contracted. not just in negative sentences but also in affirmative ones. For example, if I tell you that I will help you, so that is a complete form. I can use the short or contracted form of this and I can say I'll help you. Instead of I will, I'll help you. Or instead of I would, ought. Instead of he will, he'll. Instead of he would, he'd. Right? Instead of he had, he'd. So we can use the contracted form of modal in affirmative as well as in negative. The second characteristic of modal is inversion. We can change the subject and auxiliary place. For example, I should go now, right? So I can change the subject and auxiliary position by saying should I go now, or I will help you. Will I help you instead of I will help you, that is affirmative. Or a question would be will I help you? So this is inversion. That is the second characteristic of modal auxiliary verb, because we cannot form a question with the main verb just bringing the main verb to the beginning. Right? Like for example, I work very hard. I can't say work I very hard. Okay, this is not the characteristic of a main verb. This is the feature or characteristic of a modal verb. Like for example, I can work hard. Can I work hard? So I can bring can at the beginning position. But main verb I cannot bring at the beginning position. So this is the second characteristic. The third characteristic of a modal auxiliary verb is that we use in repetition or in take question. Right? For example, I say that you can speak very well. Right? Can you? Or I can put a primary stress on modal auxiliary verb, right? That I tell you that you wouldn't be alone here. And you tell me, what do you mean? I would, right? You say, I would be. So you are putting the primary stress on verb, right? Or if I tell you that you can't dance very well, you tell me, well, I can. So you are putting primary stress on a modal auxiliary verb. Similarly, we can use also modal in take question. You couldn't go there. Could you? There's a take question. And the last characteristic of a modal auxiliary verb, that modals are invariant. We do not change the form of a modal auxiliary verb regardless of whether the subject is singular or plural. We cannot add s or es with a modal auxiliary verb, even if we are using with a third person singular pronoun. Or we cannot add ed or to form the past form of a modal auxiliary verb. So there is exception, that is the verb could. So we have 8 modal auxiliary verbs in English which are pure modal. The second category of modal auxiliary verb is called marginal modal auxiliary. So they are 3 in number. One is called dare, second is need, and the third one is out. So these 3 marginal modal auxiliary verbs do not fulfill all the features of modal auxiliary verb. That is why they are called marginal modal auxiliary verb. In the third category of modal auxiliary verbs, we have semi-modals. They are called semi-modals because they do not fulfill the complete criteria of modal auxiliary verbs, or they do not fulfill all the 4 characteristics of modal auxiliary verb. For example, we have a semi-modal verb, that is have to. If I make a statement that I have to go there, so what will be the negative form of this? I don't have to go there, right? So I'm putting here do not. While it is not the feature of a modal auxiliary verb to put do there, because I say that I shouldn't go there. I'm putting not immediately after should. I shouldn't go there. Okay? Or I wouldn't go there. So I'm putting not immediately after the modal verb would. But in this case, I have to go there. And I say I don't have to go there. Or if I want to make a question inversion, I have to go there. So I'll say Do I have to go there? While it is the criteria of a modal auxiliary verb, we do not bring any change when we make a question. We just change the position of subject and auxiliary. I should go there. Should I go there? I'm not putting do. Or I have to go there. Do I have to go there? So it means that semi-modals do not fulfill all the requirements of modal auxiliary verbs. Some of the requirements are fulfilled. That is why they are called semi-modal auxiliary verbs. So semi-modal auxiliary verbs in English begin with have, had, or be. Like be able to, right? Had better, I have to go, she has to go, she has to do, he has to do, right? So there is also invariant form. Like for she and he, we are using has to. She has to go, she has to do, he has to do. Or for I have to do, I have to go. While it is not the feature of modal. The feature of modal is where we say I have to. The feature of modal is, we say I should go there. He should go there, okay? Or she should go there. She should do it. He should do it. I should do it. We should do it. So that is invariant form. We do not change the form. While here in has to and have to we change. For example, he is able to sing a song. She is able to sing a song. And you are able to sing a song. So that is variant form. We are able to sing songs. That is variation in this. So thus these semi-modals, they do not fulfill the criteria, all criteria of a modal auxiliary verb, right? But then why we call it semi-modal? Because again, they give spatial meaning. Sometime obligation, sometime necessity, sometime permission. So we use them as modal or semi-modal auxiliary verb, and they give spatial meaning. That is why we call them also semi-modal auxiliary verbs. Examples of pure modal, marginal modal, and semi-modals. So in pure modals, we have will and would, may and might, can and could, must and should. And in marginal modal, we have need, we have ought to, and we have dare. And in semi-modals, we have be going to, I'm going to do it, you're going to do it, she's going to do it, right? And they're going to do it, that is be going to. And we have be supposed to. I'm supposed to be here at 10. You're supposed to be there at 10, right? And we have had better, right? You'd better to reach there by 11, right? Or I better help him. This is another example of semi-modal. Another we have, that is have to and has to, right? She has to work hard. I have to work hard. You have to work hard. So you see that the forms are changing. So it means that these semi-modal auxiliary verbs are variant in form. They are not invariant like pure modals. So these are the examples of modal auxiliary verb. We discussed modal according to the forms. Now we will discuss modals according to their meanings. Now modals according to their meanings. So modals according to their meanings can be categorized into 3 groups. Let's discuss them. In group first, we have modal of ability, modal of permission, and modal of possibility. So this includes the modal auxiliary verb can, could, may, and might. So can, could, may, and might. These modals are used for ability, possibility, and permission. In the second group, we have modal of advice or necessity, and this includes must, should, ought to, need, dare, has to, have to, had better, and be supposed to. So some of them are called semi-modals and some are pure modals. They are used either for advice or necessity. In the third group, we have modal for expressing future time, and this includes will, shall, would, and be going to. So these modals or semi-modals are used to express future time. So this was all about modal auxiliary verbs. I discussed in detail the types of modal auxiliary verbs according to their forms and according to their meanings. In coming video lecture, we will discuss each modal auxiliary verb in detail, and we will also discuss the primary and secondary function of modal auxiliary verbs. So keep watching and enjoy learning with Imran. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. Thank you so much.